Good. I can't find it anywhere. Let's talk about
the time, so full seemed like
Let's do it.
work.
So, me and Caleb were on the way to Ross to return some shoes that he got, and he decided he didn't want them. So we were at a stoplight, and a Honda Racer flew by. Now, when that happened, I kind of thought to myself, no wonder why Hondas have such a bad name. Yeah. So I kind of thought to myself, no wonder why Hondas have such a bad name, because most of the time, 9 out of 10 of them are racers. Now that's not necessarily true, so we're gonna take some time to talk about that here in a minute. But first, Caleb has to return the shoes, then we're gonna go grab some food, and then we'll get started. So I'll see you guys soon. While we were here eating food, we actually came across our new best friend, and it's our good luck charm now. So I'm gonna put this little ducky in every one of our videos.
Hey, Lil Ducky.
We're gonna name him Little Ducky. Not Little Dicky, but Little Ducky, because he's a duck. Yeah, that's him.
Number 2. First is worst, second is best.
Hey guys, so I mentioned Caleb earlier when the video started. You guys haven't met him. This is Caleb. He's my best friend, my partner in crime. He's just gonna tell you a little bit about himself. Yeah, go ahead.
So my name's Caleb. I've known Alec for a very long time now. We've known each other since we were in 6th grade. We've grown up together, we've been in the car scene together, we've kind of just helped learn everything, just feel out everything. Started out with, some basic, had a Honda Civic to start out. Now I currently own a Chevy S10 and a 94 Camaro Z28, which is currently in the garage because doing a cam swap in it and had the heads ported out. Just got them in the mail today, so excited.
Do you want to tell him how it blew up in the first place?
Well, so once upon a time, I was driving in my Camaro and it started to overheat on me. Turns out it was the water pump, no big deal. I decided I needed it fixed right away because it was my daily driver at the time. I didn't have another vehicle that I could drive every day, so dropped it off at a local shop. Said, hey, just need the water pump replaced. Sure, no big deal. They did it. About a month later, after getting the car back, head gasket blew because the coolant wasn't exactly bled the right way, and
From somebody.
but everything's on track now. It gave me motivation to do some things that I may not have done for some time. So, but overall, it's okay. I think I'll be okay.
So that's why it's good to do a lot of the stuff yourself. Because even a shop can't do something right half the time.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of videos from that. Hopefully once everything's all good and running strong. So look forward to that. But today, like I said, we're gonna focus on Hondas, how they got their bad name. We have experience with Hondas, and we see plenty of really riced out Hondas. So we're really just gonna talk about that the whole time. Now, for our first cars, I had a 93 Prelude and Caleb had a
1993 Civic Si.
Now, my Prelude was ricey as hell when I first got it. Caleb's was clean, but mine was like a maroon color. It had a lot of body damage. The engine, it had a rod knock in it, so everything just was not good in my Prelude. As far as Caleb's Civic goes,
Well, I got my Civic. I actually got it from a steal. I got it from a military guy, and I had it with 64,000 original miles. So it was a steal. So I actually felt kind of bad about modding it, but you know, I did basic stuff. It was black. Put it on some nice white wheels. I lowered it on skunk tube, pressed 2 coilovers, you know, full exhaust, intake, just basic stuff. But I mean, I didn't do anything too radical with it. It was just pretty simple. Both of our cars were really just kind of clean. Mine was black on white wheels. His ended up being champion white. Champion white on black wheels. Looked really great. I love the pictures that we took together because they all set each other so well.
yeah, so when we were young, we just kind of tried to one-up each other with things we did to our cars.
And here we are.
So, but yeah, so it was like an ugly maroon color with a lot of body damage on it. So I fixed the body damage. It already had coilovers and wheels on it. I fixed the body damage, got an exhaust, painted it championship white. Put an H22 VTEC in it with an LSD transmission. But for the most part, but for the most part, we had really clean Hondas. I mean, we're not being like, you know, we're not bragging or anything about it, but they were clean for the most part.
But what we're talking about today is how some cars do give Hondas a bad name, and maybe that's not exactly, maybe they shouldn't have that bad of a name. So, from our personal experience, we've had cars that were pretty decent. I mean, honestly, I'm always kind of partial to Hondas, because it's one of those things, like, you can talk a lot of crap on a Honda, and, you know, if your friends have Hondas, you know, people always pick on them, but once you really actually own a Honda, you kind of get a feel for what it's all about. Like, there's a reason why everybody has Hondas. Now, I mean, sometimes people take it a little too far. You know, they don't think out their mods and everything they do. But, you know, I mean, to everybody, you know, everybody, to each their own. But we're just, you know, there are some people that just give them bad names in general.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I see it is that when you go to big cities and things like that, or any sort of show in general, there's always going to be really, really clean Hondas. Nothing that's really ricey, you know, paint's pristine, you know, a lot better than, you know, my Z, for instance. But stuff that's a lot more cleaner than that. But the problem with Hondas, in my opinion, is that they're so freaking cheap. So there are people that mod them and they do really nice work to them. But since they're so cheap, there's a lot of people that don't have that much money, so they buy a cheap Honda and put a lot of cheap parts on it. So the car sounds like crap, it looks like crap, they put giant wings on it for no reason, you know, things like that just honestly don't make sense at all. Like, we have a friend that actually has a Honda Civic, and it's turboed, it looks basically stock. It's pretty awesome.
It's the right way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah. How much horsepower does he have? Like
380 wheel horsepower.
Yeah, he has 380, and he said on E85 he could be around 450, which is crazy. And the car feels fantastic riding inside of it. But that's another good thing about Hondas is you can make them really fast for so cheap.
And that's one thing, like, you know, you gotta respect them in a way. Cause I mean, we went to Honda Day last year, and we saw some Hondas drag racing, and some of those Hondas. What was the lowest one we saw? Was it low 8s or?
Yeah. We saw
in the quarter mile, low 8s in the quarter mile, and that you gotta respect any car that can do that.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's a lot of money that's put into that, you know, and with any amount of money, you can, you know, make any car fast, you know, with a lot.
Yeah, I really think that when it like comes to Hondas, like Honda is the biggest family when it comes to, you know, car lovers and things like that. Like, there's a lot of haters for Hondas, but
for every hater, there's 3 lovers of Hondas. I know, because I've had, not only did I have my 93 Civic Si, which had the DS16 Z6 engine, single overhead cam, but I also had a 2002 RSX Type S, and I also had a 2002 Honda Civic EX Coupe. And the thing about it is, no matter what car I was riding in, whenever I saw like a fellow Honda or something like that, you know, they always wave. You know, when you see people at grocery stores or something, you park next to them, you know, they always have something to say.
Yeah.
I know I left a fair in Rockingham County Fair, but I was on my way home, stopped by the gas station to get gas, and this guy pulled over. This is when I had my black, my original 93 Civic. This guy pulled over, you know, he parked next to me. He just started talking while my girlfriend at that time went inside. And we were just talking. I mean, you know, it's just nice. It felt like we'd been friends forever. You know, we were talking about his mods, talking about my mods, you know, everything. And it's great. You know, you don't really find people that are just arrogant or douchebags, really, that are, you know, I mean, sure, you do have some, but, I mean, everybody's typically, you know, always there to talk to.
Yeah. So when you think of Honda, you can't just put like a hate label on it, in my opinion.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that spend a lot of time and a lot of hard-earned money to build them. And some people do build them in the way that I might not like or Caleb might not like, but like in their opinion, that's how they should build it and that's how they want to build it. And they're spending their money to do it. So I don't see why you would, you know, necessarily just bash that person because of it. If you don't like it, fine, but you know, don't hurt the guy's feelings for it. That's really all there is to it. We've been in that position where people like hate on Hondas constantly, but we have built decent Hondas. Now they're nothing spectacular, but they're really nice. Did I hit them? Did you see it?
You did.
We just want people to have an open mind when it comes to it, because you might see a lot of rice, and most of the time it's from a Honda. But that's because there's a lot of people with not as much money as maybe you, and they want to build something nice, but they can't afford something nice, and that's the issue. But they're trying, you know. I do want to thank Caleb for talking with me. You guys will see him a lot. He's super fucking cool, and we'll see a lot of the Camaro in the future, along with some other people. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. As long as the head gasket doesn't blow again.
One thing that I always tell people, and you know, final word, is the one car that I actually miss out of all things that I wish I could still own to this day is my first 93 Civic. Just the way it handled, the way it drove. You know, it wasn't a fast car by any means, but it was just so comfortable. It always gave me extra confidence. Loved driving it down the back roads. It was just a great car overall. I have no complaints for it whatsoever.
But that's all you guys need to hear, you know. That's it. That should make you go buy a Civic right now. Pretty much.
World of Civics coming soon.
Yeah. Go get the Type R. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching again. And until next time, stay awesome.